Bring Maya to the world.
Maya.
All right. Baby, say hello. Yeah. Look.
She can't hear me, right?
No, she can't.
Yeah.
Atlanta. Say hello.
Hey. Yeah.
Okay, so
she's so sweet.
Welcome to another edition. This is the second edition of Coffees and UFOs. This,
Us?
with me, is our cat Maya, and my special guest is Leena. And we are going to be talking about whatever Leena wants to talk about. So,
all right.
First, cheers.
Cheers. Yes.
Okay, so if there's one thing that is the most important topic or subject to you in the paranormal, what is it?
In the paranormal?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, it probably is finding out more. What is it really scientifically? There's so many mysteries. The more I study, the more questions.
Mm-hmm.
So, but my greatest interest is in the shadow people.
Okay, interesting.
And I have no clue.
You find it interesting or fascinating, but have you had an experience with a
yes.
shadow person? Oh, you have?
Well, I'm not sure exactly, but it was at Ken Sherry's house several times now. And of course, he states that it's no big deal. There's paranormal activity at his house all the time. But last couple of visits in that hallway, I have seen shadows going sideways across and disappearing right into the wall. And you know me, I'm analytical, and I always have to think scientifically. And
right.
And I know I saw. That's not the question. But what did I see? But they were dark shadows, small, moved right across the hallway, almost like coming from Ken's office, right across and went through the wall between the two bedrooms.
Yeah, that's... Well, what about now Ken? Has he seen this as well? Or is it just an extrasensory perception of your own, of your own that allows you to do that?
I think he hasn't mentioned that he has seen any shadows or ghosts.
Oh,
but,
for anyone listening, Ken Cherry is a mutual friend, and he's author of the Stephenville UFO Mark Slade Investigates book. So yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yes, former state director of Mufon for Texas, right? Yeah, he's had many paranormal experiences at his house, other things. But I mentioned to him about that. Oh, so, yeah. He was not surprised.
Right. So is there any evidence left behind at all? Anything that you can investigate after you see these things? Or you're laughing?
Listen, you know me. I have my black light with me all the time in my purse.
Yeah, I mean, is there anything like ectoplasm, residue?
Unless they're peeing on the floor, no. Because, okay, this is great. I got the black light out and turned all the lights off and went through the hallway. And there were these markings that do not appear any other way except with the black light.
What do they look like, the markings?
They were more like sort of that size, round, sort of opaque, yellowish color. And then looking at the carpet in light, nothing there.
Well, could that be anything, or do you think it's indicative?
No, it could be anything. I mean, yeah. Short of scraping up and doing some kind of a laboratory analysis, I don't know. That
would be interesting. Although, if you take a black light into any hotel room, you'll find a number of spots in there. So,
I frighten myself in my own house, let alone this.
Yeah, I won't walk around with a black light in my own house. All right, cool. So I'm going to get to the standard questions
Go ahead.
that we have set up. Okay, so have you seen a UFO?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. What was your experience?
Well, let's define UFO, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unidentified flying object. So not necessarily otherworldly, but 2012, Ellington Airfield in Houston, Ellington Air Show. The U.S. Navy Blue Angels were performing,
Yeah.
and it was about high noon, cloudless day, and I was there with a friend of mine who's a NASA astrophysicist, and he tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Look." And I look up, and there are these 5 golden discs, like balls, way high up, so bright that like freshly polished gold, just sitting there. So of course I asked, "What are they?" And he looked at me like, "Okay, come on, Leena, really?" And I said, "All right, process of elimination. They're not satellites, right? Right. They're not aircraft, right? Right. Yeah. Geese? No. All of that." And while we're looking at him, 2 began slowly move to the left, and then suddenly, boom, and they were gone.
Mm-hmm.
1 starts moving slightly to the right and takes off, and it's gone. Now there's 1 sitting there that we can still visualize. The air boss for the Navy was directly behind me in this tower, so I ran up there. "Air boss, what are those?" He looks at me and he said, "Flock of geese." Sure. But right behind me was a independent photographer with a huge video camera, one of those shoulder-mounted things.
Okay.
And he was filming it. And I said, "Air Force says they're geese." "Yeah, at about 20, 30,000 feet or higher." And then that last ball of golden light just blinked off.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it funny? So many people have a similar experience. I did too, where these objects would just suddenly like move at high speeds erratically, and then just like take off into the atmosphere. And it just, for anyone who is not familiar with your background, you were in the Navy for a number of years, and you were sort of a groundbreaking soldier, weren't you?
Well, yes. Well, maybe not ground, but water breaking.
Water breaking, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how many women were in the Navy when you were joined?
There were a few women, but not on ships or out in the fleet.
Yeah.
So, of course, I volunteered.
Yeah. So you kind of showed them what's what, I guess.
Had to. Hey, remember, I was a card-carrying member. I was an alien. I had the little green card to prove it, too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So if aliens come and land here, you're just welcome.
Yeah.
I've been waiting. Where have you been? No, that's great. And because I think it matters. I think that your military experience does support your own ability to discern between something that could be an aircraft or any kind of craft at all, any sort of military grade technology, versus something anomalous that is inexplicable. Okay, and then real fast, because the clock is ticking. What does the future of ufology look like to you, and or what would you change?
All right. Well, I think we're really, really, truly coming forward fast for maybe not full disclosure, but at least a soft disclosure.
Okay.
They can't keep hiding. And I think that after that, more funding, perhaps scientific funding, and paranormal investigations must follow, because one opens the door for the others. And I think that perhaps one thing is that people will realize that quite a lot of the phenomenon, UFOs, they're ours. the technology that we've been back engineering and so forth, will be evident. But to get to the disclosure, I think my own personal opinion that our government is in a position right now that they have to come forth.
Yeah.
But at what point?
Do you think so? I guess in a sense their backs are getting closer to the wall because the pressure from even Congress people are pressing now, because I think there's a generational difference. These people are like, we're not towing the line anymore, because we don't even know why the line was set in the first place. So that's what I feel. I don't know.
The old boys club is slowly dying.
Right. Yeah.
And the military can't keep saying that there's going to be anarchy and panic and all that. People are not that stupid.
Right. Yeah.
And you said, what would I change? Full access to the Vatican archives first.
That's a good one. That is juicy. Yeah. Yeah, because who knows? Who knows what's there?
The few hints that I've had, it's incredible what they're hiding down there. But full disclosure right now on Freedom of Information Act, without any redactions.
That would be amazing. Of course, there is the legitimate concern, right? That some things shouldn't be shared for, we need to keep our best secrets, especially military secrets, secret against our enemies, right?
Absolutely.
So how would you do that? I mean, what would be the caveat there?
Wow, I don't know. It is very complex.
Yeah. All right.
There's always but if.
Leena, thank you so much for joining me.
Anytime. And keep peace.
I love it. Are you actually drinking coffee?
No, it's Shiner.
That's awesome. See, now, myself, on the other hand, it doesn't matter what time of day it is. I'm happy to have a little cup or a big cup. Doesn't matter.
Coffee, right?
Yeah.
I'll send you some finished coffee.
Right. Oh, yes. And the yucca plant. It's doing well. So for anybody who's listening, Leena had given me as a gift from Texas a yucca plant with my friend Ken Cherry, and we brought it back to New York until we realized, if the cat gets at it, the cat may not thrive anymore, although the plant will. Also, we don't have the best lighting for the yucca plant, where we are located. So we passed it off to a friend, a work friend who just loves plants, and their entire apartment is like a jungle, and they have the proper lighting for it. So it's happy and it's thriving. So, but thank you for that plant. That was one of the coolest gifts ever. And
do you remember?
And TSA stopped me, by the way. they're like, whoa, come over here. You open this. What is that? So that was fun.
But do you remember I told you what its name is in Texas? When they're small, they're called baby killers. And then there's baby plants, right? Mm-hmm. They grow to be killers.
Yes, yeah.
You walk into that and you have a serious wound.
Ooh, yeah, sure.
Great.
But there's nothing, I mean, I love plants that have that just Jurassic look to them, like giant hibiscuses or any plants with giant leaves, sharp leaves, thorns. There's just something so impressive about that.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right. Well, peace and love.
Okay.
And we'll catch up again soon. All right. Okay. Take care.
Hey.
Thanks again for joining us for another episode of Coffee and UFOs, two of my favorite things. If you want to find out more about us, follow us on social media, but of course, like and subscribe down below if you appreciated today's content and for more. And, things will develop as they always do, and sound quality will improve, and so on and so forth. Thanks again for tuning in. Follow me on Instagram @ParanormalNow or on Twitter, @paranormal_now.